George's County has been doing some really unique and exciting work in public communication. Shaniqua Pennell, tell us about yourself and how Prince George's County has been launching Blueprint implementation. Shaniqua, you're muted at the moment.
Well, that's not going to work, is it? Good morning, everyone. My name is Shaniqua Pennell, and I am a supporter of Strong Schools Maryland as team leader and county captain for Prince George's County, where I reside. I'm a mom to 3, I homeschool, and I am a community builder and concerned citizen. I also run a nonprofit called We Get to Give, Inc., which supports the mental wealth of minority girls ages 9 to 19. Prince George's County has been doing a really great job in they're publicly communicating as far as plans for rolling out the blueprint. And they do have a dedicated webpage devoted to the blueprint since summer of 2021. And some of their school year offerings, 2021-2022 offerings, are going to include mental health services, providing grants for mental health coordinators. They have a designated task force for clinicians and staff addressing suicide prevention, which is major right now, trauma awareness and mental health. They have also 77 PGCPS schools have been identified in Blueprint as community schools. They've received $32 million in poverty grant funding, which went towards community school coordinators, healthcare practitioners, and wraparound services based on the needs of the community. So they've been really good in letting everyone know where they can find information, which again is online, and meeting the standards of what the blueprint is requiring thus far.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shaniqua. And local school systems, check out what Prince George's County is doing to communicate. I really hope we see something similar in every district. Now let's bounce over to Kent County, where 2 new community schools have formed this year as a result of the blueprint. Jody Bortz, tell us about yourself and how Kent County is already experiencing the benefit of the blueprint.
Hi, I'm Jody Bortz. I am a team leader for Strong Schools Maryland in Kent County. I also, as partly inspired through my work with education advocacy, have in my 2nd year of teaching, I'm becoming certified as a teacher, and I work in a school that's become a community school where also my own children have gone. One still attends there. And I can tell you that the impact of the blueprint is strong and immediate. We just hired our community school coordinator, and she is a firecracker and hit the ground running. And one of the first things she did was talk to our actual kids about how they feel about their education. And they know that there are things that they need. They are not oblivious to where they are lacking in our communities, where the support is coming from. And the blueprint right now is bringing some things to our school that we so badly need. And the kids are going to be the ones that benefit. And it's going to be, it's immediate there. We're already starting to see an impact in our school. And what the thing for me, being with Strong School since 2017, the thing that as I've been talking to leaders in my community over the years was, we know that we have these needs, we just don't know how to get it done. And so what the blueprint has done for us is draw these needs to the forefront so that it's top of mind, it's on every agenda. People are talking about it in a community, they're talking about it at our county commissioner meetings, they're talking about it in the newspaper. How are we going to get this done? How are we going to make these things happen? Because now everybody knows there's accountability, there's reporting, there's a clear path forward. And I think this blueprint and the things that it's brought into my community, I'm already starting to see what the benefit is. And I can't wait as we go forward and continue with these initiatives to see how it's going to benefit, through the years. Like, I work with elementary, so I can't wait to see what's going to be different for these kiddos, in 10 years, and how they're going to blossom with all of these great new resources.
Phenomenal. That is so energizing to hear. Thank you so much, Jody. Now, one thing about our team leaders is that no matter what, they find a way to show up and speak out. Two of our amazing team leaders that were set to speak today were unfortunately unable to join us in person, but they made sure that their voices were heard by sending us video of their speeches. We'll first hear from Samaya Rahman, a team leader and student in Carroll County. And then we'll hear from Dr. Brenda Conley, a team leader, professor at Towson University, and a leader within the Baltimore Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta.
Dear decision makers, Blueprint for Maryland's Future is a large step towards providing more equitable education for public school students. I recognize that Blueprint for Maryland is very recently implemented, and therefore I applaud Carroll County Public Schools in successfully implementing the Blueprint through the 2021 academic summer recovery after a year of virtual learning. I believe that this has aided many students against any learning loss in the 2020 school year, and I look forward to seeing how our district's academic recovery program becomes more refined and continues to help students. However, I do not think that I can attest to my district's proper engagement to the public in the Blueprint's implementation. My district's Board of Education meetings remained fixated on removing mask mandates, as well as book bannings and a stricter political neutrality policy for teachers. When I searched up Carroll County Public Schools Blueprint for Maryland, I wasn't surprised to see one line mentioning the blueprint under the CCPS 2021-2022 Recovery Plan, and an article from December 2021 where it stated our superintendent does not know what the school system must do yet to fulfill the demands of the blueprint. It is clear to me that I want the decision makers of my school district to have more discussions regarding how the blueprint will be implemented in CCPS. Not only do I want discussion, but I would like to see specific actions taken regarding student mental health issues, as well as better support for our teachers through the blueprint. One of the most important factors in the blueprint for me is that the school leadership and training program, because I want my local lawmakers and school leaders to focus on addressing student issues in CCPS. And I believe that this training to ensure alignment in implementation of the blueprint would be beneficial to our school principals, Board of Education members, as well as superintendents. However, I hope our state lawmakers will continue to strengthen the local school district partnerships to ensure the utmost transparency in the implementation of the blueprint.
And next we'll hear from Dr. Brenda Conley.
Dear decision makers,
I am delighted to be joining you as we celebrate the first anniversary of the passage of the legislation that supports the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. My name is Brenda Conley. I am an assistant professor in the College of Education at Towson University. I joined the faculty at Towson after having spent nearly 30 years in the Baltimore City public school system and several years with other education agencies. Inadequate education funding has always been a concern for me. I am motivated to support implementation of the blueprint for several reasons. I have had an opportunity to visit schools throughout the state of Maryland, and I have seen inequity in many forms. Inadequate funding has always been an issue in Baltimore City. The new legislation helps to address many of the inequities that I have witnessed, but the legislation alone does not work. We need advocates. We need people who are going to make sure that the information about the blueprint becomes common knowledge for every Maryland citizen. I have chosen to support this effort in two ways. One, as a citizen in my own community by spreading the word, and also as a member of a public service sorority. I am a member of the Baltimore Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. Education and social action are two of our major goals. Our Social Action Committee has made the blueprint a priority. We joined forces with Strong Schools Maryland to help spread the word about the landmark legislation. On April 25th, we will host a social justice forum that will highlight the blueprint. Our organization is 500 members strong. We have created a database that gives our members information about who their legislative representatives are. We are encouraging them to reach out to their representatives to let them know that they support the blueprint and they expect them to do the same. We have a small committee working on unpacking the Senate bill that supports the blueprint so that we are intimately familiar with the content and can support implementation specifically in Baltimore City. We have great plans for supporting this legislation, and we will continue to encourage others to do the same.